Hey there guys, it's Deirdre from Vegan Delight, and today's video is going to be on cycling. I had a couple questions asked, and they're actually more directed towards John, and then I also saw a comment on someone's Strava ride for cycling saying that they get numb hands. So I was going to address that because I get numb hands too. So I was gonna share what I do in order to help me deal with the numb hand situation. So I'm going to show that to you guys now. Okay, so John is going to demonstrate what to do, and he's going to explain why. So he's actually the one that changed my hand positioning to help me with the numb hands. So John, go ahead.
Want me to show you? All right. So I think what happens why a lot of people get numb hands is they jam their hand right into the hood there, like that. And what it does is it's pushing your wrist down like that, which is cutting off the nerve. So what you want to do is keep your hands as loose as possible when you're sitting on the bike. So I just sit them here like this, right? And you want to have your hands in front of the hoods. And what I told Deirdre to do is cup your hands like this and then sit them on there like that. That way most of the weight is going on the palm of your hand and you're not jamming your wrist into the hood. So you really want to have a loose upper body, and not only that, but you want to think, if you're putting that much weight on your hands for them to go numb, that means you're putting too much weight on the front of your body. You want your hands loose, elbows loose, and your core contracted, like this. So you know, if you have to get to the controls, you can. You're not jammed in there like this. You have your hands nice and loose on there. You need to do it.
So John mentioned the core, and I consider myself to be someone that has a very strong core. So I can outplank almost anybody. And
5-minute plank.
I've done longer actually,
Yeah.
like on a revolving plank even. And you know, I can plank away and I can do all these core exercises. You know, I work out. I've been a personal trainer for 14 years. So, you know, I'm really focused on building my core strength. But having a strong core and then utilizing your core in sports are totally different things. So this is new to me now. I am starting to really understand that just because I do my core exercises and my abs are strong doesn't mean that I'm using them properly when I'm doing my workouts. So this is what I've been focusing on now, and I notice it when I'm doing my flip turns in my swim, is now they're getting faster and stronger because I'm thinking about using my core while I'm doing my flip. And so the same with my hands on the bike, like I'm supporting myself too much with my upper body and my arms, and I need to be focusing on bracing my core. So my coach, last time she saw me on my bike, I was getting fitted for the TT bike, she's like, Dee, you really gotta hold in your core. Like she could see that I wasn't supporting myself well enough. So she gave me some different exercises to do. So now I've been focusing on that. And so it's the same when I'm out with my cycling. So I cup my hands like John showed me, and then also I try to remind myself, especially when my hands go numb, suck the core in, hold that in tight. So that's a really good tip for that. Okay, so next we got two questions, and so the first one is for John. What's his average speed on a long ride? So I guess 3+ hours.
Yeah, so yesterday I went out 4 hours. I did 117 kilometers. Sorry, I was out 3 hours, 50 minutes, 117 kilometers. So I think my average speed was around 30 kilometers an hour. And, but average speed means nothing. Like I don't even have average speed on my, my Garmin, because, you know, you go out in a headwind, you go out and it's really windy, 40 kilometers an hour, means nothing what your average speed was. And you could go out and do the exact same route on not a windy day, and your average speed could be higher. You could go out and do that route with a group of guys, your average speed is going to be way higher if you're working together with a group of people. So average speed really means nothing. I don't even look at it. But what I do look at are watts. So what's so important is to have a power meter. And this is how important I think it is if you have $2,000 budget to buy a bike, I would get a Stages, spend $800, and then use an extra $1,200 to buy the bike. Have to have a power meter. So the ride I did yesterday, I averaged about 200 watts for 4 hours, you know, which is good for me. That's a good ride. And that's how I can tell. Today I went out for 4.5 hours and I only averaged 150 watts. So I can see, and yesterday was much harder than today. It's all about the power meter. That it shows you exactly what you're doing at that time. You can go back and look at your average watts per lap for the entire ride. It's so important to have a power meter. 100%. Spend your money on it.
So that was the second question, is do we use power meters? So what power meter do we use?
I got the Garmin Vector, which is good because I got 3 bikes, so I can change it from bike to bike really easy. Other than that, I think if you have one bike, I would probably get the Stages, but if you got multiple bikes, Garmin Vector has been pretty good for us.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it for bike cycling.
One last pro tip.
Q&A.
One last pro tip here. If you're out on a long ride and you need water, McDonald's. You can just walk in. They got the fountains there. You can walk up to the fountain, fill your bottles up with ice, fill it up with water, and they never mind. So, I'm always keeping my eye out for McDonald's or Taco Bell or something like that. Walk in, fill up your bottles. And even if you find a nice manager, I ask him, I go, oh, do you mind if I fill it up with Fruitopia or something like that? And he goes, yeah, sure, no problem. So, if you're running low on sugar and you need some sugar, McDonald's is a great spot. And then if he says no to the Fruitopia, what I would really do in a desperate situation is fill the bottle up with water, fill both bottles up with water, and then maybe get like 6 or 7 sugar packets and put the sugar into the water because the sugar packets are free. I've done that a couple of times where I forgot, didn't bring any cash with me, and I needed sugar to get home. So
that's a good idea.
Keep your eyes peeled for McDonald's.
Yeah, and always bring maybe $5 or Visa. I think you had the Visa today.
Yeah, I bring it now, yeah.
Yeah, because I went swimming and I checked my wallet and it wasn't there.
Oh, yours is there. I brought my own.
Where's mine?
It should be in your wallet.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we gotta find the Visa.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for my Visa now. So I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys like this video, press the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Otherwise, we will see you on the next video.
Bye, guys.